Hello, this is Deborah Yao with Black Education TV. Now, family, it looks like things are heating up even more. More international news for you. The China military just told Russia that they have come to support them against the U.S. Y'all know the country we live in, for those of you who reside here in the U.S., China has just told Russia that we've come to support you against the U.S. So things are heating up. I'm going to read this quick article for you, family. China's military leadership has pledged its support to Russia as tensions between Moscow and the West further deteriorates into diplomatic isolation, economic sanctions, and dueling defense drills. In his first visit to Russia, newly appointed Chinese Defense Minister Wei Fang attended the 7th Moscow International Security Conference, accompanied by a delegation of other high-level military officials, emphasizing that his trip was coordinated directly with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Wei said that he had two major messages for Russia at a time when both nations were attempting to modernize their armed forces and strengthen their hands in global affairs in spite of U.S. fears. Okay. I am visiting Russia. He says this. He says, I am visiting Russia as a new defense minister of China to show the world a high level of development of our bilateral relations and firm determination of our armed forces to strengthen strategic cooperation, Wei Fang said at a meeting with Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, according to the state-run TASS Russian news agency. Okay, hold on one second here, family. Just want to turn this volume down here. Okay. As I continue on, the second reason, he says, is to support the Russian side in organizing the Moscow International Security Conference. The Chinese side has come to show Americans the close ties between the armed forces of China and Russia, especially in this situation. We've come to support you, he added. The Chinese side is ready to express with the Russian side of common concerns and common position on important international problems at international venues as well. So they say we're here to support you against the U.S. Okay. Russian President Vladimir Putin and his Chinese counterpart command what's often considered the world's second and third most powerful armed forces, respectively behind the U.S., while the Pentagon has managed to retain a comfortable level against its leading competitors. Moscow and Beijing have coordinated closely as they both aim to close the gap and check U.S. influence abroad. Wow. Y'all hear this, family? Do you hear this? Okay. As Russia showed off its military prowess by declaring victory in the Syrian conflict and boosting its military power across Europe, China has invested in international infrastructure projects, especially across Asia. And get this, I was just talking about this, y'all, especially across Asia and Africa, and expanded its presence in the Pacific. Both countries argue they are looking to work with and not against the U.S., but Washington has viewed their rise with suspicion and has taken countermeasures against perceived challenges to the international order it has traditionally dominated for decades. Okay, see, now America's looking side-eye at them because they say, oh, no, we want to work with you, not against you. See, the reason why America is suspicious because they are familiar with the lies that they have told to other people, you see. Because they are so familiar with their own lies, they know that you cannot kid a kidder because they lie so much, they realize that this is probably a lie too. Okay, there's so much to this article in which I will just drop the link. I'm not going to read the rest of it. I'm going to shoot right down to the bottom or the end of this article, and you can read the rest of it if you so desire. But it says, thanks to the efforts of the leaders of our countries, the ties between Russia and China are now reaching a new and unprecedented level, becoming an important factor in ensuring peace and international security, Shoigu said, according to the Russian Ministry of Defense. Okay, like many of us continue to state, these other countries, these other world leaders are tired of playing the games that the West play. And they are saying, look, we're going to fortify ourselves together against you if we have to. Now, for us that live here in this country, we have to really get on our knees and pray, you see, because for so long we have been, I guess, collecting enemies in this country, just collecting them. And the narrative that we present to the citizens is always that, oh, these big bad leaders of these other countries are such a threat to us. You see, that is the narrative that is presented. But who really is the threat? Who has bullied their way around the world for a very long time? Who? You see, and so as we see things heating up and these other nations are starting to form alliances, the book of Obadiah begins to ring true, that all of those that were confederate with you are beginning to turn on you. You see, so what we need to do, we need to continue what we've been talking about. We've been really trying to encourage everyone to fortify yourselves and strengthen what remains and strengthen what you have. Grow, try to form alliances if you can. If you can't, just do what you can on your own. Don't allow anything to hinder what you know you need to do for yourself and for your family, because decisions are being made around this world and in this country by world leaders and our leaders that we have no control over. And the decisions that they make affect all of our lives, even if it doesn't affect it right away, even if you don't see what the effect is right away. You got to know that at some point it's going to show up how you are affected by the decisions that these leaders are making. We cannot afford to sleep on these things. These people are strategically coming together. And the West is not stupid. They see what's going on. They see what these people are doing. And it have them nervous. And of course, if questioned, Beijing, China, and Russia are going to say, oh no, we're just trying to make sure. But you heard what the statement said. They said that we are here to help you against the U.S. But when the question is asked, oh no, we're not doing anything. We're just, we want to really work with you, just don't worry about anything. It's just a meeting between us and Russia. No big deal. Mind your own business. Okay, so when people are tired of playing the game, they know what they have to say. They know what they have to do. And so they are forming their alliances. They are getting all of their military strategies together. They are fortifying their economies, their military, and their finances. I mean, both of them have already said bye-bye to the dollar, and many other nations will probably follow suit. So it's just a matter of time, family. So many of us have gotten so comfortable with business as usual that we just can't fathom. I remember someone said to us years ago when we were talking about the dollar and how it's shrinking, and at some point it's going to become useless. And this person, they said, I can't believe in America that the dollar would ever become useless. This is because most people don't understand how the monetary system works, how economics work, and how wars affect things, how international conflicts can change things, and how once people stop being afraid of the West and start saying, look, we're going to do what we have to do to strip you of your power by using our own money and forming alliances with other countries. They're saying, look, we don't need your money. We don't want to use it anymore. You're going to sanction us. We're going to say, look, we're going to do what we have to do too. We're going to put your people out of here as well. Now it's kind of like a tit for tat. It used to be a time where America would do things, these other countries would get nervous, or they would just simply comply with what the U.S. wanted. Not saying that that's not still happening, but you have countries now that are starting to say, you know what, since you're going to play these silly games, we're not going to play them anymore. We're just going to do what we have to do. And that is what China and Russia are doing, you see. United States is even getting nervous because of the meeting that China had with Korea. They're like, oh, what are you two talking about? You know, it's kind of like a bully. They don't want to see two other bullies talking, or not necessarily that those other countries are bullies, but they don't want to see two of their enemies talking. They love it when everyone is divided. They are so ecstatic and happy when other people are divided, other nations are divided. They love that. And so these other nations are saying, let's be divided no more. Let's unify because we have a common threat. And that's what they see the U.S. as, a common threat. So I think this is interesting news, worthy of paying attention to and looking at and listening to. Again, the article I found is on Newsweek, and it says that China's military tells Russia, we've come to support you against the U.S. That's a big deal, family. Okay, I am out. Shalom.